My name is Jordan, and I'm a Texas real estate broker. I've been in the apartment industry for the past 9 years, and I decided while launching my brand, I wanted to make a company that was all about its agents. So whether you're looking for a new home or a place to curate the business that you want, I'd love to talk to you more.
Okay, so what to do if your client is ghosting you? And for those of you that aren't hip with the word ghosting, hopefully you can figure it out. But basically, it means if a client contacted you, asked you for some info, you gave it to them, and then they just stopped responding. What do? I have found that this happens a lot in our industry because most of our marketing is done on social media. So if we post a really badass apartment on Instagram, you may get like 5 people that reach out and say, "Hey, where is that?" And I've gotten really, really strategic about figuring out ways to not get ghosted. So if somebody hits me up and contacts me and says, "Hey, where's that apartment that you just posted?" I always say, "Oh my gosh, I would love to send you information about that property. Do you mind sending me your first and last name and your email address? And I would be happy to send you more information." A lot of times you'll know from the very beginning what type of time they're on. A lot of times they'll say, "Oh, no, 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 I just want to know what property it is." And I will repeat back and say, "Oh, yeah, well, we actually all work on commission only. So I'd really love to be able to send you information on this property. So I really will need your first and last name and your email address. So yeah, if you're willing to send that information to me and we can talk a little bit more about what you're looking for, I'd be happy to send you info on this property." Normally, people that are already working with a locator or are just kind of like surfing social media, looking at stuff, and they have no intention of working with a locator, they normally won't respond and they'll just give up. I have had people kind of get more aggressive and say, like, "Well, why can't you just send it to me?" And I explained to them again, "Oh, well, we all work on commission, and I just want to make sure that I'm taken care of. I do marketing for these properties, and I just want to make sure that if my marketing is working and these properties are appealing to you, I want to make sure I'm taken care of." So that's kind of like one of the first steps about like what to do when your client's ghosting you. You prevent getting ghosted. You get their contact information. Do not ever, if you are posting ads on Facebook or Instagram or just any platform at all, and you're posting videos or pictures of an apartment community, do not just send the info to somebody if they reach out to you. Always get their last name, their email address, and their phone number. That way you can put them in a little handy dandy database, either your smart apartment data, which we talked about before, or you can put them into Follow Up Boss, and you can start to send them marketing. So if they totally stop responding to you after you give them the name of the property, you already have all their contact information and you can text and email them until they respond. If you have been working with somebody, say they contacted you, everything was going great, they were talking to you, you sent them a list, and then they just stop responding, I normally will follow up for like 3 times after they stopped responding. And if it's been 3 or 4 times and I've followed up and they haven't said anything, I normally will hit them with, "Oh, hey, just following up again. I just wanted to see if you ended up leasing somewhere because I do offer a rebate and I just want to make sure that I know where you lease so that I can send you that rebate whenever you move in." That is sometimes what I hit them with. Sometimes I also won't even do the rebate thing. Sometimes I'll hit them with like a guilt trip and I will say same thing except minus the rebate. "Oh, hey, I just wanted to see, did you end up moving in somewhere? Because I actually, I work on commission only and I don't get paid anything at all for my free services to you if I don't know where you leased. Would you mind telling me if you lease somewhere?" So that's normally what I first lead with, but sometimes I'll do the rebate thing. I always kind of just feel out my intuition and see what type of person I feel like they are. Um, because sometimes people do, like, something happens in life and they decide not to move anymore, or they get into a car accident, or there's some kind of family issue. And sometimes people just put their entire moving process on hold and they just fail to communicate it to you. Which is another reason why it's super important to build some sort of human connection, human relationship with them, because they don't feel like you're just texting them every Monday saying, "Hey, how's your moving search going?" They feel like they're actually, like, they know you, y'all are kind of friends. So they're more likely, if something's going on with them, they're gonna text you and say, "Hey, oh my gosh, like, I decided not to take the job. I'm not gonna be moving for like the next couple months." And that way you can be like, "Cool, no big deal. Let's just circle back around here in a couple months." They're more likely, if you have that human connection, to not ghost you, number one. But if they do ghost you, sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes it's not because they're trying to screw you over. Sometimes life just happens. So that's why I always just try to keep it classy and be compassionate and understand that sometimes stuff happens and people just, you're like the last person on their mind. They're like, "Oh, I need to let that apartment locator know that I've never met before. What's going on?" So always just keep good energy, and just, be assertive and professional, but just be compassionate for people too. So I will hit them with the, "Hey, oh my gosh, I work on commission type thing. Would you mind letting me know where you lease so I can get paid for my free services?" I always like to say my free services to remind them, like, "Hey, you didn't pay for anything for this. The least you could do is tell me where you lease so I can get paid." So I'll do that. Or if I feel like this person, like, honestly, I really only do the rebate thing if it's like a big commission. Like if I'm like about to miss out on like $3,000 to $5,000, I will hit them with, "Oh, hey, I just want to make sure that, I am able to give you your rebate. I just need to know where you leased." I will do that. And yeah, I basically, the way that I was taught with when I worked on site as a leasing agent, I was taught, don't ever stop following up with people until they literally ask you, "Please stop contacting me." So I, when I was really heavily into doing locating, on my list of things to do each week, I had, like, obviously the people I was following up with that were moving in the next 90 days. But then maybe 1 hour a week, I would follow up with like people that had ghosted me, or people that were moving like 6 months from now, or people maybe that I haven't talked to in 6 months. And I just would always follow up with them, like, no matter what. And it's pretty crazy because if you stay on top of people, even if they don't respond for like 6 text messages, eventually they end up texting you and say, "Oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry. I completely just stopped responding to you 8 months ago and I'm moving now." Or, "Oh, I actually did lease somewhere. I leased somewhere like 4 months ago and I listed your name, but I never told you." That happens so much. But the thing is most people just give up after like 2 or 3 times of someone not responding, and they end up losing out on a lot of money. So I always just say, if somebody is ghosting you, guilt trip them, maybe offer a rebate, and also just never stopped following up with them until they literally say, "Please lose my number." So that's what I do to when someone I think is ghosting me. But let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, and 9 times out of 10, they're not ghosting you. Hope this helped.